Hey guys, welcome back to the Deansy Boys Show podcast. I am your host Reece Deans and welcome to another episode of the Deansy Boys Show. And I know it's been 2 weeks since I done my previous video where I discussed about the brand split, and also it's also been a very few weeks that I've also done another podcast show, but I'm back. And guys, I hope you really enjoyed those previous two videos that I just posted on YouTube and online and etc. But now I'm back with a new episode where I'm only going to be discussing about one topic, and that's Brock Lesnar going back to the UFC. Now, loads of stories and news have been happening of who's going to be Brock Lesnar's opponent in the octagon, and it's going to be Mark Hunt. And for all I care, I'm actually glad that Brock Lesnar's back in the UFC for a one-off appearance. Well, probably it could happen again in the future. We could possibly not know, but I'm actually glad he's back in the UFC because it gives him time to do what else he wants to do and everything like that, as apart from like being a part-timer in the WWE where he just makes a few appearances and then just goes off into the distance just to do something else and disappears and then comes back later on, which I think it's really I wouldn't say I was going to say confusing, but I don't think that's the right word. It's a bit on and off, we all know that he's going to come back one day, come back for SummerSlam later on in the year. But what's really got me thinking is that it actually could work for Brock Lesnar, not only for him personally, but for the character as well in the WWE. I'm not saying that UFC's all stage or anything like that. But if he does beat Mark Hunt at UFC, it could boost his character really well in the WWE, coming back to say, look, he's been back to the to UFC, now he's come back, now he's going to kick some ass, and he's going to build him as a proper monster of who is going to be Brock Lesnar. I know there's been a few wrestlers that has beaten him, but come on now, I mean, Brock Lesnar has through his matches destroyed the majority of the wrestlers, and it's leaving WWE thinking, where do we go from here with Brock? I mean that's the thing, because with the brand split coming up, and because of lack of talent, for Brock Lesnar, it's just going to be him just chucking another match with Dean Ambrose or Chris Jericho or something like that. But if he does come back, when he goes to the octagon, when he goes to UFC, and he's going to win, hopefully he does, because I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan, he's going to come back as more of a monster than he was after he left WrestleMania. Now, the thing that's really got me thinking as well is that he retires from UFC, comes to the WWE, or comes back to the WWE, and then he does 2 WrestleManias, and then he goes back to the UFC. But during the course of Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania runs and his other show runs and going back to the UFC, CM Punk left the company a while back. He's gone to UFC. He's making a statement to say, look, I'm jumping in the octagon, I'm going to fight, etc. But all of a sudden, injuries got in the way, something else got in the way, this got in the way, and it's just been one promise breaker after another, I think it was, and I think it was just a bit of a downfall, a letdown, into why it took him now 2 years for CM Punk to actually get a match in UFC, to actually get a fight, and it's going to happen in the 202 event at the UFC, and I'm looking forward to it. I can see Punk having a lot of potential, because he does have some martial arts moves that he's got experience in. I mean, he's used them in WWE, so I'm actually excited for him to what he actually could do in the octagon. But during that time when he was off injured, or he was doing this, he was doing that, Brock Lesnar just managed to do 2 WrestleManias and then come back to the UFC, and now he's going to be fighting again. I mean, coming out of retirement. I mean, it's just one of those things, really, where I just think to myself, well, it kind of makes me feel like, well, come on, Punk, what's going on here, and it's one of the things that it's hard for me to talk about right now, because it's just, I haven't seen Punk in the octagon yet. We never have seen him in the octagon, but we have with Brock, and we know what he's capable of, and we know what he's capable of when he comes back to the WWE. So they're gonna, and I know for a fact that they're going to be the WWE are going to be all over Brock when he comes back. If he does win, they're going to be saying he's beaten this, he's come back, he's done this, he's done that, and oh my god, what's happening here? And the one thing it worries me as well is like it's Brock's future. Now he's a part-timer, so he doesn't really. It's like Vince needs Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar does not need Vince. Brock's only there for the money. Also, he loves it for the passion of it or whatever like that. But he does his job and he goes home to his family to do what he wants to do. I mean, he's already a big name. I mean, it's like John Cena as well. I know he's a very committed professional wrestler and he's Vince's guy. But I think now with the booking with him and AJ Styles, I can see him doing another year in wrestling and then he should turn to part-time really, because he doesn't really need to be there. He's been there, he's done that, and I think the only reason he's still there is the fact that Cena is actually trying to boost the major future stars of the WWE, you know, the talents that's coming up from NXT and everything like that, but he doesn't need to be there at the moment. But I'm actually very excited for the AJ Styles and John Cena match of Money in the Bank. I think that's going to be good, even though I'm going to be in London. But I might just stay up and watch it. You never know from that. But yeah, going back to Brock Lesnar and UFC, you know, he's had a good run. He's become UFC heavyweight champion. You know, he's had his best rivalry with Frank Mir, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. You know, there's banter and proper verbal, physical confrontations between them two. And I wonder what Mark Hunt will bring for Brock. I mean, he's an experienced fighter, you know, and he's done that, but so is Brock. So you just don't know. And same again with CM Punk. I just don't really know what he's going to be doing in the octagon, I think. And the thing is as well, is just this build up has been so time wasting and lacking so much. It's just the fact that finally, or I'm not really interested no more, you know. I think the build up was a bit poor, you know, and we all know that UFC is not staged, it's not scripted, it's very straightforward. Like, yeah, you and you are going to try and kill each other, get loads of just try and fuck each other up, you know. But people have been actually wondering, because of the length of time that it took for CM Punk to actually get a match on the card at UFC, people have been saying, oh yeah, he's not really doing it, he's just being CM Punk, he's going to come back to WWE one day, and you just don't know. I mean, the thing is with CM Punk is that he actually hates Triple H and Vince McMahon. I mean, there are other wrestlers, other big names that have fallen out with McMahon and Helmsley, so CM Punk is one of them, and he has expressed his feelings that he will never ever come back to the WWE, but we don't know. I mean there have been a few, you know, fallouts, but then reconciliations, so it's just a matter of time really to see if it actually comes to that conclusion. But I hope CM Punk does, you know. I mean, he brings a lot of attention, he brings the money in because of his character and his personality and what he actually does as his character in the WWE. When he was CM Punk, he was leaving the company and he done 5-star matches, you know. He done that one with John Cena, Money in the Bank, blew a kiss to Vince McMahon and said, I'm leaving with the title belt. And then, even though he poorly came back 7 days later, but it was still a good build up to that story at Money in the Bank, and it was a 5-star deliverance, so it was very worth it. But when it comes down to UFC, let's just wait and see. You know, I'm excited for Lesnar and Punk to be in the octagon, but I would really like it if they did a one-off, because I know that CM Punk and Brock Lesnar are both different weight levels, but I would love it if actually if CM Punk gets a few matches in UFC, a bit of experience in there. I wouldn't mind a one-off match with Punk and Lesnar in the octagon to see how bad they would kill each other. I mean, that would be very good. I think that would be awesome. You know, I mean, they have one at SummerSlam in WWE, you know, and let's see what they do in reality. Let's see how they actually try and kill each other, because that would be awesome. I pay good money to watch that. I wouldn't mind doing that, because I think that was awesome. But let's move on, and just hopefully that Lesnar will win and Punk will win his first match in the UFC. Let's just hope that. Let's just move on from that. Not long ago, I've just been recently I attended a Welsh Wrestling event at the Barry Memorial Hall, and it was one of those events where I did not actually wanted to turn up, but I had to because my little sister begged me to take her, so I had to with no other option. I was also given a ticket from my mate Nick Hewitt to go to Attack Pro Wrestling. I turned that down. Why did I turn that down? I do not freaking know, but I just thought I'll go there. I got other mates who's going to go there, so I'll just sit with them and let my little sister have a good time. But when I got to the event, I just seen too many kids there. There was so many of them dressed as John Cena and Rey Mysterio. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was like around about 50 or 60 people there. The build-up to the matches, I think they were very poor because there was just... The announcer said that your main event of the evening is going to take place in the end of the first half, and I just thought, well, a main event is what it's a match that concludes the entire event. That's what it's called, a main event. And when they had the triple threat match for the Welsh heavyweight title with Titan versus Stevie Star and Kate Koulos, I enjoyed the match. It was a very good one. I was not expecting the winner. Even though I've seen Welsh wrestling before, I can sometimes follow the stories, and I literally thought that Kate Koulos was going to win it again, because I'd seen him win it last time a couple of years back, but I was wrong, and Stevie Star, the John Cena of Welsh wrestling, is the winner. Then they had a battle royal. I wasn't expecting a battle royal at the proper main event of the end of the show, but I was expecting Titan to win. I just knew he was going to win. Even though I wasn't supporting that favourite, I thought they should have had someone who would least likely would win the match, just to give a bit of a fair share. I'm not saying like the promoter doesn't do that, but the way I can see with Welsh wrestling, the three big main guys are Stevie Star, Kate Koulos, and Titan Machine, or Machine Titan, whatever you want to call him. And I want to see like other wrestlers, have their fair share. Like James Mason, I know he was a former Welsh heavyweight champion, but I think he deserves another push. Robbie, I think he deserves a push. And in all honesty, if they get more wrestlers, I really like to see in Welsh wrestling. I like to see a Robbie versus Stevie Star match, and that'll be very good. It'll be very technical and very awesome to actually watch. Titan versus Grizzly. There's a big ginormous wrestler. He's supposed to be depicted as a monster heel. I like to see that match, but I don't know. I'm not the pro. I don't write, but I would actually, if they called up now and said, "Oh, would you like to write some of the shows?" I would not mind at all. I would actually do that, no problem. Mr. A. Ravenhill, the promoter of Welsh Wrestling, the owner of Welsh Wrestling, if you're listening to this, I wouldn't mind writing a couple of shows and writing some storylines for you. I'd be happy to do that. If you're listening, you can always catch me up on Twitter, Facebook, or anything like that. I've sent you an email as well requesting a podcast show with James Mason as well. So I hope you get back to that. I'm really looking forward to it. But and I know they're coming back in, I think, October time, so I'll ask then. So I'm just really looking forward to it, and they should really do a lot of what's the word? Yeah, they do a lot of pay-per-views. I mean, I know they do a lot of house shows in Treacle Bay and Porthcawl, and they go from place to place, from city to city or town to town in Wales, and they sometimes go to England. But I would like it if they do a first ever pay-per-view at in Barry or in Cardiff, just to get it going, get Welsh wrestling known on the map, and online, like talk about it, and just get it out there, just get Welsh wrestling out there. I mean, it would be very good for it to go big in the country of Wales, or probably in the UK, join the likes of Attack Pro, Progress Wrestling, but we'll have to wait and see. so like I said about going to the events, there were a few ups and downs. I mean, I enjoyed the matches, don't get me wrong. The matches were brilliant, they were technical, they were physical. The triple threat match was awesome. It had a lot of unexpected twists and turns, and some of the matches were not going the other person's way, but they were going a different person's way, which I thought was brilliant. The downfall is that it was too World of Sport-esque. I thought it was very, very much of a tribute show, going back to the World of Sport years where you had Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, Finley, Nagasaki, and all those lots, and I think they shouldn't have done that. They should have been their own promotion, and also there were no barriers to stop the. I'm not saying like the kids should have fun or anything like that, but I mean during the matches there were a few kids jumping up on, coming too close to the ring, and I just thought, come on, health and safety guys, this is not right, and it was slowing down the entrances, the kids were just coming up, and I know they done that with World of Sport. They actually let them go through the crowds with Big Daddy getting jumped all over and etc, but I thought there should have been some health and safety like guideline there, where we just have a few ring barriers. And especially as much as I've been watching Welsh Wrestling for so long, I know it's true wrestling. They actually do some moves and everything like that, but I think they should have done a little bit more. There should have been more moves and athletic skills. I mean, there was a luchador wrestler, I think it was Magisto. I think he should have done more. There should have been hurricanranas there. There should have been more somersaults, moonsaults, and everything like that. I mean, they should have been doing more stuff. And I wouldn't mind one day if they'd done a street fight match, or like a no disqualification match where they use weapons. I mean, that would be good. It's just like a one-off. I'm not the promoter. I'm just saying what I feel that they not should do, but what they could do and possibly do in the future. It's just my opinion, They don't have to, if any of you guys from Welsh Wrestling are listening to this, you don't have to take my word for it, but it's just an option, try it out, it could be fun. I mean, it could be good, and it could actually boost the crowd going. I mean, the thing is, it was just the fact that there were too many kids involved. I think there should be more for the adults there. And I know I said this too many times that the wrestling's getting too kid friendly, and I mean, it's not even that, but just get some ideas out, spread them out, and get it going. I mean, I like to see a new champion one day that's completely different and new and fresh. I like to see a one-off match where there's like a street fight, a ladder match, a cage match, just something off the books, just get it going. But the one thing I really like was when Titan was in the Battle Royale and I was cheering for this one guy. I mean, it was just banter. I was chanting for the heel because the faces were actually two face, if you know what I mean, two good guy. And then Titan see me and he just there and he just went, suck it, and to me, and I was there like, dude, really, come on, really, touche. All right, I'll give you that. Fair play to you. A lot of banter. You gotta love it. So shout out to Titan there for doing that. I actually respect that. So all the best, man, and hope you get the title back. Hopefully not. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So it was a bit of a 50-50 night. I enjoyed it most of the times, and then there were some other times where I thought, they should have done that, or they could have done that, but that was it. It was a good day. It was a good night out. My little sister enjoyed it, so and I've said about it. That's all I can say really about the Welsh Wrestling, and I hope they do well in the future. Like I said before, I said it once, I'll say it again. I hope they do well, and that's much I can say about the Welsh Wrestling. So guys, I know this is a bit I've only talked about Brock Lesnar, CM Punk in UFC. Now I talk about Welsh Wrestling, and to be honest, that's all I can talk about right now. I haven't really got a topic to discuss. The only reason why I was talking about the UFC was because Brock Lesnar made the big news that he was coming back to UFC, and that was it. That was just the big headlines that was going on in both wrestling and UFC areas. So I thought I'll just talk about it and see how and let you know how I feel about it, what I think about it. And the Welsh Wrestling, like I only just recently attended the show event. It was good, but some of it was not good. But then again, there's no such thing as like a perfect match. You know, you're gonna get your few hiccups now and then. But I know it's gonna be a very short podcast show. But that's all I can really talk about. And I will be talking about a lot more things in the future, and I'll also try and talk about NXT The End. I haven't watched it. I'll be honest with you now. I have not watched NXT The End. I gotta watch it. I've heard a few bits and pieces. I've seen the results, not seen it like show wise. I've seen the results on the website, and I just thought, well, I'll see the matches to see if they were actually worth it or not. I've seen other people's reviews on it, so I just have to watch it, and I'll let you know. I'll get back to you on that one, no problem. Money in the Bank, I will not be watching it. I'll be in London. I'll be there just for a few days, not to do like podcast shows or anything like that, just to get away, have a break from everything, and hopefully then I'll come back, catch up with Money in the Bank, and I'll tell you my thoughts about it. And basically that's about it. I mean, I'm trying to think at the top of my head, but Monday Night Raw, I don't really want to talk about it because most of the times it is full of shit, and I just don't know why the head writers are there today. I mean, they should change them and just get rid of them. I mean, and give some of the wrestlers more time to do their promos and be their character that they want to create. And I just hate the fact that WWE is very, very demanding, and they want to do this, they want to do that with them. But I'll talk about that some other time. But that's all we got time for here, guys, and I hope you really enjoyed this podcast show. But really speaking, I know it's a short one. I just can't really think at the top of my head what to say next. But I hope you enjoy it, guys. I am your host, Reece Deans of the Deansy Boys Show. This is me saying goodbye.